Welcome to another episode of the Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Today, my guest is Katrina Fox. She is an award-winning journalist, PR consultant, founder of veganbusinessmedia.com, host of Vegan Business Talk podcast, and author of Vegan Ventures, Start and Grow an Ethical Business. She is an ethical vegan since 1996 and a longtime animal rights advocate. Stick around. I want to introduce her to you. Hi, Katrina. How are you?
Hello, Nancy. I'm really well. Thank you very much. Great to see you.
Nice to see you as well. We have a little bit of a time difference here since you're in Australia. How things are there?
Exactly. Well, it's winter here, but look, the sun is out, so it's all good. And isn't it great that we can connect in all the different time zones? I love it.
I love it too. I love the fact that we can do just what you said, connect all around the world and talk, meet, and network.
Exactly.
So, Katrina, I'm going to ask you, how did you come to veganism?
Okay, I'll give you a very brief overview because I know we haven't got a huge amount of time. So I went vegetarian at the age of 11 when I found out that the beef burger my mum was serving was once a cow and the fish fingers were fish. So I stopped eating animals at quite a young age, but it took, quite a bit longer until about 1996 for me to find out about the dairy industry, for example. I'd been involved in animal rights, but somehow the vegan memo had missed me. So I was on a protest, actually, on a coach towards a bus, as you say in America, to a protest about vivisection. These kittens were being bred for vivisection. And long story short, I brought a sandwich out, offered a sandwich with cheese in it to a person sitting next to me, and she said, "Oh, I'm vegan." I said, "What's that?" She explained, about the realities of the dairy industry, and I was quite horrified because I'd been involved in the feminist movement and, very much advocating for, women to have, control of their own bodies, their own reproductive system. So to find out the reality of the dairy industry was really quite shocking for me, and I was quite annoyed with myself that I didn't realize it earlier. So I sent off, I was in the UK at the time, I'm from the UK originally, so I sent off to the vegan society in the UK for my little animal-free shopper, and I pretty much am one of those people that kind of went vegan overnight. Obviously, there are a few things, like we had leather dining chairs that took a little bit longer to replace, but it pretty much, I was kind of like, right, that's it, we're going vegan. So yeah, and that was 1996, so I think 25 years this year.
Wow. Congratulations. That's a lot of times. I'm just at my 8th year and I'm loving it. And like you, I didn't make the connection at first. And when I did, I was just so upset with myself. Why didn't I get this before? Why didn't I see this connection?
Yeah, I think once you know something, it becomes glaringly obvious. But when you don't, you don't. And I think it's a good lesson for us as well, because because I've been vegan for 25 years, and look, there's people that have been vegan way longer than me. But I think the longer you've been vegan, you kind of forget what it was like when you weren't. And I try to remember, because then you can be a bit more compassionate to people in their journey, because not everybody sees it. And sometimes they might not even see it when you point it out. Or they might not want to see it, or for whatever reason. So I think it's kind of always good to be a bit kind to ourselves. So I am kinder to myself. I thought, look, it is what it is. Yes, I think we all wish we'd known sooner, but we didn't. And we're on our journey, and we're doing what we can now, obviously, to make up for it and to share the message.
Right. It's never too late to go vegan.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Now, Katrina, tell me about your vegan business media and how you help entrepreneurs on their vegan journey in that capacity.
Yeah, sure. So about 5 years ago, actually be 6 now, in 2015, I wrote and published a book called Vegan Ventures, Start and Grow an Ethical Business. So my background is journalism, and I was looking for a way to use my journalistic skills to sort of do something a little bit different, and not because the mainstream media industry has changed so much. So I was looking at, other things that I could do, as a lot of journalists were doing. And I was quite interested in businesses and entrepreneurship, but something was missing. So I basically was teaching people, how to write a press release, how to get media coverage, because I found small business owners and entrepreneurs really didn't know how to get themselves into the media. And I think getting PR, is really good for brand awareness. It can be great for generating leads and sales, but not a lot of people know how to do it, and they don't know how to do it right. But something was missing. And then a friend of mine said, look, who would you ideally work with? And I said, well, vegan business owners and entrepreneurs. So that was my little light bulb moment. And that's when I thought, right, I'll write a book about how to start and grow a vegan business and include everything from, how to start it up, marketing, PR, the whole lot. And I thought, oh, there's probably something out there. And there wasn't. So I thought, right, that's a sign from the universe. I'm meant to write this. So I wrote the book. I interviewed over 60 vegan entrepreneurs from across the globe, and I weaved their insights throughout it. So it's the first and only book of its kind. And that sort of led me to starting Vegan Business Media, which is an online hub of resources, both free and paid, for vegan business owners and entrepreneurs. So there's the podcast Vegan Business Talk, where I interview vegan entrepreneurs and they share their strategies for success. So that's really popular. And then I also offer services. I have a program as well on how to teach vegan entrepreneurs, personalities, business owners, how to get into the media. It's called Vegans in the Limelight, and that's like a whole program with support from me. And I do one-on-one consults, and just enjoy helping vegan entrepreneurs to raise the profile of themselves and their businesses and their products. Because I think the reason I do that, just quickly, Nancy, is because I think we have to make it as easy as possible for people to go vegan. I went vegan for ethical reasons, for animal rights reasons. So I put up at the time with not having cheese on my pizza for 25 years. Now I can, and I'm delighted, but not a lot of, not everyone will do that. They'll just be like, no, it's too hard. So I think we need to make it easy. And I think running a vegan business is a form of activism. That's kind of why I enjoy doing what I do.
I agree with you. And your business, where you mentor other people, is a service that we do need, especially for people who are trying to get into vegan entrepreneurship, like you said, because you have a lot of resources. And I will share your website and other resources of how people can find out more about you and about your services. So
thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks, Nancy.
And then, you do counseling, so somebody could email you and set up a time to talk to you.
Not counseling. Counseling's that's more therapy. I'm not a therapist. More consulting. So, for example, if somebody wanted to, figure out, okay, what do they need to do to kind of raise their profile, particularly around media and PR type things. So, they can book a one-on-one consult with me, and we'll do a deep dive into their business, and I give them strategies that they can then, go ahead and implement. I've started to do a little bit of kind of brand ambassadorships. I'm about to start working with a new brand this month, where I'm kind of championing their service that they're doing. So I do some of that as well. I do a little bit of done for you services, bit of content marketing, writing here and there as well. They can do one-on-one consults or the online program, depending what people want. Some people just want that one-on-one deep dive and to kind of go, okay, here's what I suggest, and then they go off and implement it. Or I might recommend and work with other professionals if they want it done for them. I also offer that. Or some people just want to learn how to do it themselves. It depends where people are at in their business. Some people might have the budget to hire, say, a PR firm, for example. That's fine. But otherwise, people may not have the budget, but they still want to have the benefit of, say, getting into the media so they can learn it themselves. Everybody's different. Some people want that done for you approach. Some people want to learn how to do it themselves. And some people want a bit of a hybrid approach. So they might want that tailored information that they can then go off and implement.
That sounds great. Great. And how is vegan forwarding in Australia? How is it coming along?
Very well, actually. I'm really pleased to see, because as I say, I'm originally from the UK, and I left the UK in 2001. So this was well before Veganuary launched in the UK. And when I was last in London, my hometown, in 2019, it was in January, I was flown over to be part of an international a vegan campaign, and I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't normally go back to London in January because it's too cold, but I was there and I saw veganuary like everywhere. There were shops like vegan this, vegan that, and it was so amazing. So I was feeling a bit of FOMO, like, you know, I've moved to the other side of the world and now it's all happening in my home country, but now it's all happening in Australia as well. You know, we've got some amazing startups and businesses in the plant-based meat sector, plant-based dairy sector. It's really kicking off. You know, the supermarket chains are starting to recognize that this is not just a fad, it's an actual growing trend, and they need to get on board with it. So it's wonderful actually seeing it, you know, really kind of kickstart and take off, which I'm really excited about.
And that's absolutely true. It is not a fad. It is a conscious decision to live in a way that you're doing the least harm as possible.
Exactly. And I'm just so pleased to see that the big companies and the corporates are really kind of getting in on this, even if they're doing it for the reasons they just want to make money for profit. That's fine, because maybe I'm optimistic, but I believe that if they can see that people want to buy ethical products, then, and it makes financial sense for them, you know, ethics makes sense for them, then hopefully they'll become more ethical and they'll become more interested in being ethical. So I hope that we're going in that direction, but I'm pleasantly optimistic, shall we say.
That's awesome. Well, Katrina, thank you so much for sharing some of your story and sharing about what you do to help other vegan companies get better, grow better, get more coverage, and so on.
Thank you, Nancy. It's been a lovely speaking with you. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Same here. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on another episode of The Vegan Pulse. I am your host, Nancy Arenas. Remember, like us on Facebook, check out our website, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you have a pulse, you have a purpose. Live vegan.